I've been putting some time in on some Starbase, and in the shipbuilding menus, it took me a little bit of time to actually get comfortable in here. And I just want to pass on some of the tips that I've learned since spending several hours in this program. The first tip that I like to share is change your camera. Now up here, the move speed is default 10. So I'll just put it up there at 10 here, just so you can see. So you move extremely fast at 10. Sometimes it's a little too fast. So when you're trying to actually put objects and match them up and snap them into place, it's a little difficult, a little bit difficult. So if you go up here to camera, I like mine at 2. That's where I feel it's comfortable. Now at 2, it does move a little bit slower, but you can hold shift to get that little bit of speed. But just the smoothness of it when you're actually trying to line up items and snap them on, it goes a lot better. It's a lot easier. So that's what I like to do. Second tip that I didn't find out for days on end is literally tab. So you have 2 modes here. You have your mouse mode, so you can click on things. You can move around with the mouse mode still. You just hold the right mouse button down and you can spin the camera, look up and down. You can still do that. Or if you hit tab, now you go into first person mode, like you're just flying around in the game. If you're used to building things in space, this is the mode you're used to. And this is what I always did in space. So when I came into the shipbuilder mode, I only thought you could use the mouse. I didn't realize you could tab between them, but it makes it a lot easier when you're actually lining up things and trying to build. And you can switch between it really quickly here. But just to give you an idea here, so we're gonna put some ducks on. So we got this one duck, and this is actually the third tip as well. So you have 2 ways to actually manipulate these items. The first way is you can hold down Z, X, or Y, and if you're in the mouse pointer way, it'll rotate. You can see it like this, just rotating. If you move your mouse left and right, it'll rotate it around, spin it around each direction, whichever one you're holding. If you get it all screwed up like this, just press Q and it resets it back to its normal state. Or the second way you can do it is just one tapping Y, Z, or X, and it'll flip it around. Don't need to move the mouse, don't need to do anything. This works in both modes, and it's the easiest way to do it. Now, like I was saying here, you can place items a lot easier when you're like this. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult because now you can't look down, you gotta hold the mouse, look down. So tab, to me, put it in first person mode, is just a lot easier to do things. The next tip is actually deleting things. You'll find yourself, maybe you want to change some designs, maybe you don't like where a lot of things were. You can use the back button up here to undo the operation. If you were too far into your build and you realize, oh man, I shouldn't have used this piece or this piece, I should have done something else, just hold shift, click, click, and click. Everything you click with shift is selected as long as you're holding shift down. Now to unclick something, unselect it, just hold control and click the item again. And then you can delete all those items that are highlighted. Makes it a lot easier when you decide you want to change a bunch of things in your build. Just doing that. One other thing, this ship isn't really designed like fully fleshed out or anything, but up here you have your eyes. So I just deselected all beams, so I don't want to look at any of the beams. So now all I'm looking at are the devices, my hard points, my ducts, any wires, any cables I would have up here. That's what I'm looking at. You can do the same thing with everything on here. So you don't want to look at devices, get rid of those. Now you're just looking at these. You don't want to look at the machinery, get rid of it. Now you're not seeing them, hard points. So you can view everything differently, and when you have a ship that's mostly fully complete, you'll actually be able to go through the panels, go through the plates, delete them basically without deleting them, make them invisible, see the x-ray on them, and you'll actually be able to add things like get up early and close and in between walls because you forgot to put some ducts or you forgot to put some cabling in there to get into places. And that's about it on this one. Those are some quick little tips. Have fun in shipbuilding. It can be a pain, but it is actually more beneficial to build in here, I realize, because you can learn so much of the components without having to spending resources, which is what I was doing when I was flying around in space, building and crafting. And here you can come in here, mess around, learn the sizes, learn the importance of them, how they work together, how to build things. You can screw around and realize, oh, I don't like this, let me change this, let me add this. It is beneficial to be in the shipbuilder mode. All right, later.